Hello, this is Sophia with SophiaKnowHow YouTube video channel. Today I'm going to show you all the great features in Zoom Meeting, and you might want to familiarize yourself with all the features, all the functions before the meeting. So without further ado, let's jump right in. These are the 4 features I found the most useful during Zoom meeting. And the first one is mute and unmute your microphone, on and off your video, recording feature, and screen sharing feature. I've put together a list of shortcut functions. These are shortcuts that is very useful in Zoom meeting. I would suggest you to print out this list and have it on the side when you're having a meeting. It's very handy. And again, you want to familiarize yourself with all the great functions before the meeting begins. And you don't want to embarrass yourself during the meeting without knowing any of these functions. So this is the first thing you want to set up in the Zoom meeting before anyone else joins the meeting is to set up the microphone. You want to mute all the participants except for yourself. You can simply do by Alt-M. That way you don't hear any echo or noises on the background. And if anyone wants to ask questions, they could either chat you or they could raise their hand, and I'll show you how they could raise their hands. As a host, you have the control over people sharing their screen. On the bottom of the screen, there's a green arrow key pointing up, says Share Screen, and there's another arrow key pointing up next to it. Click on that, and you'll see a drop-down menu with 3 options. The first one is one person share, or the second one, multiple people share simultaneously. The third option is advanced sharing screen. The first question is the same as previous page where it says one person share at a time or multiple people share simultaneously. The second question is who can share, only host or everyone else? If only host can share, the third question will be graded out. On the question, who can share? If you choose all participants, the third question now becomes active and you could choose between only host or all participants. Could start sharing when someone else is sharing. There is one thing I want to mention about this, which is very important. When you're going back and forth from your meeting and to somewhere else on your computer, going back to your meeting, you will be clicking on this little arrow key on the right, on the very right of this minimized meeting. And this meeting minimization is done automatically and could be placed anywhere on your screen. So it could place on the left or on the center, on the top, on the bottom. So it could be placed anywhere. Doesn't need to be on the right. Okay, so going back to the meeting, you will click on the green arrow key on the right of where I pointed the red arrow key. So we have just set up our screen sharing options, and there are 3 ways to share. You will click on the bottom of the screen where it says Share Screen, and this time you will click on this green button instead of the arrow key on the side. You will click on this green arrow key button on the up where I pointed in red arrow. After click on Share Screen, this will pop up, and this is the basic where to share and people use the most. The first screen on the top is the minimize meeting screen. The second is whiteboard, and the third one is iPhone, iPad. The second row shows all the files you have opened prior to this meeting. And it's important to have them opened before the meeting that you want to share so that it will show on the second row that you could choose from. Say I want to share this screen with everyone. So I click on this one and it shows in full screen now, and it will have you are screen sharing on the top, message in green, and in red it says stop share. So once you're done with sharing this page and you want to click on stop sharing, it will bring you right back to your meeting. Second way to share is click on the second tab, which is advanced. You could share a portion of your screen, or you could share simply just music or just the sound only, or you could share content from the second camera. The third way of sharing is click on Files on the third tab on the top of the screen. You could choose files from Dropbox if you have files saved in Dropbox, or Microsoft OneDrive, or Google Drive, and you could share from Box. So this is very useful if you have files saved in any of these storage, then you could simply click on those and go in and share. Next, let's talk about recording. Again, we want to go to setting first for recording, and it's under setting, go under recording, and the first one is location, where the file is going to be saved at. So if you want a different location, go ahead and change that and read through all the options underneath and check them if you want to. The recording button is on the bottom of the screen where I pointed in red arrow key. It's a one-click button, so just click it and it will be turned on right away. Once recording is in session, you will see this recording diagram located on the upper left. On the bottom of the screen, there's a pause and stop recording buttons that you could push and for pausing and stopping. After you stop the recording, it's going to take a few seconds for the system to download and save into your computer. And the location where it's saved, it depending on how you set up in the setting under recording. And you can look up for these files in the vanilla folder. It will show up automatically. The other great features in Zoom, like change font size, it could be found in setting under accessibility. Audio processing for noise cancellation could be found in setting, audio, and advanced. Chat, which is located on the bottom of the screen, which is very useful. You could chat to anyone in particular in the meeting, or you could chat to everyone in the meeting. You could raise your hand. It's under participant in the meeting on the bottom of the screen. You could send reactions such as clap and thumbs up, which is also found on the bottom of the meeting screen. So other features like turning on and off the microphone and videos is located on the bottom of the meeting screen, where the red stripe means it's off and without the red stripe is on. Okay, so I hope you found this video informative, and I believe I covered most of the features in Zoom. And if you have any comments or suggestions, you're welcome to leave me a comment in below. And I want to thank you again for subscribing and watching my video. And please give me a thumb up if you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.